Hi everyone, how's it going? So we're going to be doing a bit of work on the old monogram today. We're going to do a passenger side CV joint. So I thought I'd bring you along, share to do one just in case you want to do one yourself. So let's get into the video and I'll show you how to do it. Hope everyone's well. Let's go. Before anyone say anything, I know she's filthy. But I'm going to go through her once I've done a few little jobs. I'm doing that. Doing the seals and stuff that go along the scuttle panel up the top here at the moment. It's all down here and it's all this seal. I'm going to replace all this seal because it's all gone brittle and it keeps letting water in down into the heaters. But that's for another video. So yeah, she's going to get the works done on her. She's still MOT'd on the road and still get used. But there's a few little jobs that need doing. And then she's probably going to be up for sale, to be honest. But we'll see. Right, let's get on with the video. Right, so as you can see, I've obviously got snap-on air guns and stuff, but I'm going to do this DIY style, same as you would in your driveway or something like that. So let's get it on. Simple as that. Get the old brace or socket set or whatever you got. Put the wheel on the side, we're not going to lose them. I've actually undone a couple of these already just to speed up the process, take the wheel. Simple as that. And I normally just give a couple of kicks. Off comes the wheel. Always a good time to inspect your tyre when you've got your wheels off as well. Still got a few bit of tread on there by the looks of things. I know the rear ones are even better. So let's go and investigate and see what made this one fall apart. Just click like mad on full lock. If you want to know how to check these, if you go full lock on the right, full lock on the left, and do a circle, whatever side clicks is the one that's the barons are powered on. So let's get under there and have a look. So I've got us a little light under here. Oh, there you go, easy. Straight away, see what the problem is. The CV joint gator is split, it's obviously lost all its grease. And the bearings have failed. So we've got to get under there now, take everything apart, and put our replacement in. So we're going to put the... Oh, look at my poor seats, because it's been so damp over here. That's not good. Let me get an oil shampoo on them. Put the old keys in the ignition. Make sure the hub is free to move forward and back. And that will help us do what we're doing around here. So now the keys in the ignition, I can, when I've got two hands, I can turn the steering. We've got to take the track rod end off, take the little pin out, take this joint out. Got to take the pin out the bottom joint, knock that joint out, and then hopefully we'll be able to make enough room to pull the drive shaft out. This is the main nut for the drive shaft. You need to tap it out there with a chisel, just so it's not in the keyway. And you're going to want a 30 or 32 to crack this bolt, which I'll do first. What you do is just put a screwdriver in the top of here, jam it in, get your 30 on there, and away you go, which I'll show you right now. Right, so we've got our breaker bar, a strong one, got a 32mm socket, yeah, 40 to 32, put that in like so. And then get your screwdriver, Put it in between the vendor discs, like so, like that, so you can jam it up. Your bar. Be very careful with your bodywork. It's going to be a pain in terms of steering. Sometimes you want to lock a steering for this, but to be fair, you should be able to do it. Bang, away it goes. They're not loose, don't expect them to be really loose. They are tight. And that's it. Once you've got it turned a couple of times, that'll just spin off like so. That's that part of the job out of the way. Put that aside so you know where it is. It's obviously got to go back on later. So next up is track rod end. Either use a spanner or a socket, whatever you've got to use. Under this bolt, sometimes that will turn the whole thing. And you have to just keep knocking the joint back in. Do it gently with a spanner till it undoes like that. Nearly. It can be a pain, it's just to be persuasive with them. You do it nice and gently like I'm doing it, you can normally get it. And there we go. So once you get that nut off like so, just go through taps. And there you go. Don't hit the thread from underneath because you'll mess up the thread. You obviously need to put it back on. Give it a bit of movement. See if it's stiff, that's really floppy and knocking around, I need replacing. If it's stiff like this one, then that's all good. So next job is going to be get this little pin out. And don't worry if they break off because it's probably best to put a new one in anyway. I always do. Get it wiggling, get it moving. Sometimes it'll just come out like so. Other times you'll have to get a little screw over the end of here and just tap it through, knock it out, if it snaps in half. And you just have to turn the nut till it breaks off. It's basically just a little, where are we? It's basically just a little split pin like so. And just replace it on the way, put it back together. The next bit, you're going to want an 18mm socket, bit of an extension bar. Get under there like so. Get that bolt off. It's a cast one like that one, so you can't get it mixed up with the others. The pin go through. Whereas on the other one, that's a 9-lock bolt with a plastic thread that seals it inside. Right, next job is to knock this ball joint out. I'll try not to split this rubber as we do it, but we can only do our best. And if that's the case, we'll have to just replace that joint. Alright, so doing this job, the next bit you're going to want a ball joint splitter. This one's a Drapier one, had it a few years, got a couple over there. Nice and strong, and do the job. I'll show you how you use it. So basically, you put it down there between the rubber and the joint, hopefully not splitting the rubber. Get it going. Sometimes you have to give it a good old whack, like that. And away you go, your joint's off. Yeah, we've done alright today. We didn't split the rubber, which was nice. A lot of times you will split the rubber though. There's not much you can do about it. You just replace that joint, or you seal it up with some waterproof, like rubber sealant. So now we should be able to lift that joint out. Like so, which we did. And then you've got to push your drive shaft out the back. Be very careful you break posts and stuff like that. And what I do is I normally just sit the hub on the side of the track rod end. then we've got to deal with this. I don't want to take out the gearbox unless I have to. There's no reason why I should. We've got to take the clips off both ends, get rid of this rubber, get the grease out. There's a pin clip inside there. Get that released, and this will pop off the end. So let's have a go. Obviously, this one being the old one, you could be rough with this one. Sometimes you can just knock them straight off. Sometimes they can be a pain. The thing is, if you pull out the gearbox end, you've got to deal with the oil coming out of the gearbox. There we go. And so there's this clip here that holds it tight. But we've got it over that. And obviously this CV joint has totally had it, because when you turn that click, 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 and obviously that's lost most of its grease. It doesn't sound too good when you're pushing it around. You have a listen. Hopefully you can hear that. Doesn't sound very nice at all, so pretty knackered. So that's the disassembly done. I'll take you in and let you see what's what, just so you can see what's going on. Let's zoom you out a bit. And so you can see where I've got that laying across there. Keeps the weight off all these hose pipes, because you don't want these hose pipes to be stretched or kinked or anything like that. And it just holds it there quite nicely out your way. This has obviously got to be removed. That's just scrap now. So we've got a brand new one of them and some new grease. We didn't pull it out the other end of the gearbox. If we did, we'd have a puddle of oil on the floor, which we haven't. So that's all good. We're going to clean up all this grease that's got around everything with some brake cleaner. And then we're going to get in there with the new joint, which I'll show you now. So that's that all apart. Now I've got the new one in front of me. You basically get a new rubber, obviously clip for either end. Nice brand new CV joint with nice new bearings. Should sound nice and quiet. Obviously make sure you grease all this up, really pack it, get it all nice and greased up. Same this end, just get a little bit of grease around things, and then get it on there and away you go. Already got the ABS sensor and stuff on there, so that's a bonus. So we've got to swap that over. It's because this one's a genuine part. Sometimes you'll get it and you'll have to swap it over. You also get the clips, new nut, and a new little clip for inside the shaft that I showed you earlier on, and nice big pack of grease. So if that weren't the case, hang on. If you get one that hasn't got the ring on like so, you just get the old one, and you can just remove it like so and put it on to the replacement. If you don't, you start getting hassle with brakes and stuff like that and sensors, which you don't want. So yeah, that's the way to go. So when you're buying one, really, it's probably best to make sure you get one with the ring on, ready to go. I do believe that these fit the turbo diesels as well, but don't quote me on that, but I think they're the same. So let's get all the other end cleaned up and see where we go. So as you can see, I took a bit of time and care, cleaned this right down, because obviously that was split and there could have been grit and all sorts of bits and pieces in there, so you want that as clean as possible. And now we can go ahead and start putting new parts on. What I like to do is give it a little tap with a piece of wood. Oh, by the way, I changed the little clip on the drive shaft while we were doing it. This is the old one, because obviously these get bigger and expand when you take the old one off. The new one's in. A couple of taps of that and that's on. One thing is, don't do what I've just done because I forgot to put the rubber on. So I've got to pop that back off again now and slide the rubber on there. So I took it all apart again and put this rubber in, and this end didn't fit very well. That end was okay, but the other end, no good. So I went out and bought a much bigger one, split one this time. You can adjust it to what you need on each end. Still put your clips on, you glue it all down in sections. Comes in a little kit like so. Not sponsored or anything, it's just the ones I use. You get a bit of glue, that's just for gluing down the seam. You get gloves, and then you get clips for the actual gator. So it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, I don't know why the outer end on that one just didn't fit. I mean, that literally fits inside this one. It's just far too small, whereas this one's pretty much perfect. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to put this on now, so I won't take that off again now. I would if I needed to, obviously, but this one's being a split one, I can just wrap it around and away we go. So let's do that. So it's pretty simple. Just put it in the gap, wrap it all round, get everything nice and straight. What we do is I bunch up a bit and then I glue each section one at a time until that's how we want it. But don't worry about the gloves too much, but you can wear the gloves if you're worried about a bit of glue, but I'm already covered in all sorts of stuff, so I'm not going to worry too much. We're going to do the glue just by pushing it in the lid. Like I say, just literally do a section at a time, get the side just opened up, get the glue going, run around the section. Put that down, hold that together. Probably 15-20 seconds, something like that. Too quick. It's obviously very cold. I'm working at the moment, it's -3 in here, so that's not going to help. But yeah, it doesn't take too long. Normally you just sit there and hold that like that until that's glued together. And you just work your way along the seams of each one until you get to the bottom. And there we go. The first one's on. You literally just glue each section together as you go along, one at a time. Because if you do them all and try and hold them all together at once, that never works. You end up with just a mess. So I find that's definitely the best way. Right, so it's probably took me about 10 minutes or so to go through all them rings. I've left the last one on purpose, which is this one at the back here. Because the next thing we've got to do is slide it all back in there. We need to insert some grease. We've got no grease in the shaft at the moment. So make sure we get it all in the barrel there. Use the whole packet. Bear with me. So I'm going to squirt literally this whole packet in there. So let's get it greased up. So what we do is cut the top off with a knife. See what's in there. Literally a case of pushing it in. I like to push it in the barrels myself just to make sure it's going in nicely. You don't have to do it like that, you can just fill up the gator if you want to. But I always turn the shaft around a little bit like that. I work my way around the shaft. I know it's messy, but you want your car to stay in good nick. You don't want the same to happen again as what happened to the last one. it's worth getting a bit messy for. Push it right in, pack it right in. Try and use the whole packet if you can. Should be able to. Doesn't matter if you get any on the inside of the gate, but you don't really want it on the outside. But it can all be cleaned afterwards. Just whatever's left over, just blob it in like that. Put it all over it. Like so. And get your rag, obviously clean your hands. But not just that. You want to just clean this outside ring of the CV joint, because that's where the gate is going to. When you put the clips on the outside, and if that's all slippery, it's going to move round. You can probably see there with caught the gate just a little bit. It's sitting on there like so. We'll get rid of this as much as possible. We'll bunch this all up like that until that's all nice and tight. Put the clips around there, which for this end is this big one. It goes round and clip it on, which we'll do in a sec. And once that one's on, we re-glue just the end one here, and then this clip goes on the end one. That'll be the gator on. And what you do when you put this clip on, you put it all around, click it as many times as you can, get it as tight as you can. And then you get your, you don't have a proper tool for this, but you basically just get the top of this little square and twist it. So just to show this bit, literally just put the pliers on either side of it and squeeze it, and that pulls all the way around the edges, all nice and tight, and the rubber's staying on. Just make sure the little tab's down on that end, and that's it. She's in. You then got what's left on the other end. You can either glue that one, or you can cut down to the next one. It depends which size your drive shaft is. This will probably do could do either with this one, to be honest. But I'm gonna glue it and then put the other cable on there. Then that'll be that on. Nice and fresh and all good for another year. And it's just a case of where you got some stuff pushed out and stuff like this when you've been doing it. Just wipe it all off. All nice and clean. Once you've actually finished the job, you can just wash it down with a bit of brake cleaner. Right, so clips are on both ends. As you can see, it's all looking nice and tidy. We're glued all the way along. I'll also, probably in half an hour or so, or once I put everything else back together, I'll run over the top of that with glue. I think I might do it now. If I'll do it, I'll show you. We'll just run over these seams to the remainder of the glue, just to make sure. I'm pretty sure they're sealed up, but I always do this just in case. Doesn't matter, as soon as you go for a drive, there'll be all dirt on the drive shaft and that'll soon disappear. You won't see any of that. Most of this will come off anyway. Just make sure that it's all nice and sealed up, which we're pretty sure it is. So it's looking nice. Nice new part all installed, all nicely. The end there where you can see where there's the gap, the rubber's together underneath of there. That's the only way you can do them. We'll cut these off from underneath, all flush, once back together. But now it's time to put that in the hub. So as you've seen, everything seemed to be going fairly well. The only trouble we had was the rubber not fitting the drive shaft very well. So we had to go and get another one of them, but otherwise it's been going quite well. So the new parts installed, we now got to start putting the other parts back on. So I'll spin you around and we'll start to do that. We've got a brand new nut for the end of the drive shaft, so we'll be using that, and hopefully everything will go back together nicely, which it should. Everything will do up nicely, and then we have a nice MG ZS that's not clicking along when we go on full lock. This one's a 180 2.5, so it's quite a nice car. 20 exhaust, OTG kit, all sorts of stuff. It's been remapped, all that sort of thing. And that's one of the ones that will change colour, so quite a nice car. But you have to keep on top of these sort of things. If a gator goes or something like that, I didn't actually know that had gone. That's the only reason that one started clicking. The gator obviously split and I didn't know about it. So yeah, let's carry on. So I'm going to get a wheelie chair at the moment, just to help me move things around and just make it a bit easier for me. And the only thing that's a pain doing this is you've got to line up the spline. Just keep taking it out and turning it until that just pops through without any pressure whatsoever. You don't have to hammer it through or nothing. It should just come through on its own accord, like so. And tap. Nut on the front. And the nut should pull through. We're not going to do this up fully at the moment. We're just going to spin it on, just so it's in its actual position. Nip it. Like so for now. Later on we've got to hammer this in and put it in the keyway. The next thing to do is take the track in and get that out of the way. We're working back down the bottom here now. Lift the hub up. Can be a pain, especially if you leave a light in there. Wonder why it's been a pain to go up. Okay. Slide the joint back in like so. So that's in there. Make sure you use the right nut, which is the castle nut with the little slots cut out of it. And that back on the bottom there. You have to keep turning this till it's tight and then line up with the holes in one of these holes. Because if you don't, you can't get your new split pin through. We would normally do this with a socket, but I'm going to do it with a spanner so you can see, I think. So we just do this one up until we get tight. And then once we're at that point where we're really tight, look for the hole, as you can see. Just keep moving it. Should be something like that. And you get your pops the split pins out. It's going to be something like this size. You don't have to buy a whole box like I have, you can just buy some single ones. And you literally just push it through like that. Turn it on the side so the head's in one of the slots. Get the bottom of one of the arms, fold it that way. Other side, fold the other way. And that one's all done and dusted, and that's it. Make sure you do that though, because if that nut comes undone, your whole hub can jump out into the suspension, and yeah, it could be nasty. So that now brings us to this side. This joint that we talked about earlier on, track rod end. Slide it through nicely without messing up the thread. And when you do this, you want to be tapping it in with something. Piece of wood is always brilliant for that. Get the nut with the plastic thread in. And hopefully that will just do up. Sometimes it can be a pain. You have to put a bit of weight on them. Other times they'll just do up, depending on the car. Went straight in without spinning. Sometimes the joint can spin up here. Make sure you get nice and tight. So it's connected to your steering. There's no split pin or nothing on this one, that's just how they are. And then that's the hub back in. So all seem to be going quite well. So if you just sort of follow what I've done, you should be able to do exactly the same thing. Got one more job left to do apart from putting the wheel on. And that's obviously a major job, it's got to be done. So let's do that. And we should be finished. I'm going to put this in here this time. No, we're not, this is covered in oil. Oil and brakes are not good, or grease and brakes are not good. We don't want that. Yeah, we're going to put this in the brakes on this side this time. We want to do this driveshaft nut up properly. Not too crazy. Something like that is plenty. Put that back out. And the very last little job is to hammer this keyway. So there's the finished result, all back together. Obviously I'm going to wash it all down afterwards, get all of this grease and stuff off from where it's gone around with some brake cleaner. But the rubber's all in, the new CV joint's all in, clips are on both ends, and it's all good, it's all working nicely, exactly what we wanted. So everyone, I hope the videos help someone out or help a few of you out on how to do these CV joints. You can do this sort of job on a driveway over a weekend or something like that. So they're not too bad to do, as you saw. You need a few tools, but nothing too crazy, just sort of mainly basic tools. Don't have to have top of the range expensive stuff. You can have just something that will do the job. So I hope I've helped a few of you save a bit of money, because obviously a few hours work doing that, and garages are not cheap these days. So if I have helped you out, if you can just hit the old thumbs up button for me, please. Leave a comment maybe under the video. Tell me what you think and what other stuff you maybe want to see. And I'll see if I can bring it to the channel. I haven't done too much in the way of like little project cars and stuff like that lately. I just haven't had the time to do it with all the other stuff that I do. But I don't mind doing a few of these. I've had quite a few people asking me now how to do this, how to do that. So when I have a few jobs that I'm doing like this, I'll do a few how-to videos and hopefully help a few people out. That's the plan anyway. So thanks very much for watching. I'm now going to scrub all this lot up. Time is 2 o'clock in the morning, because I always work late, as you know. So yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you soon.